So there we have it. Manchester City are group winners. They are through to the last 16 of the Champions League with that 0-0 draw against Porto away from home this evening. Here to get into that game is Richard Dunne, Kevin Horlock and Shaun Wright-Phillips. Shaun, what was your assessment of the game as a whole? It's an unusual one to see a 0-0 City score, isn't it?
It's definitely unusual, but as Dunne and Kev said, it'll be hard for Porto to keep defending like that. And as the game went on, you saw more chances that City created and, of course, even a disallowed goal.
Do you think we were unfortunate not to get on the score sheet there, Kev?
I think so. We had a couple of chances, weren't taken. But you got to give Porto credit. They wanted the point. You could see that that's all they were after. They didn't really try to win the game and defended in numbers. And it made it a frustrating watch and no doubt a frustrating game for the players to play in.
It was a game that we dominated. I think 64% possession. It was 19 shots to their 2. It just didn't quite hit the back of the net. But then I guess even though they weren't pressing as much, Richard, important to get another clean sheet. And I think we've only conceded 1 goal in the group stages now in the Champions League.
Yeah, we've not really been threatened in the Champions League. You know, teams are terrified and just seem to want to sit back and protect, try and get a 0-0 draw against City at the moment. And I think the team will be frustrated that they've not got a goal tonight. You know, after getting 5 at the weekend, they probably felt it was a chance to go on and score a few, but it wasn't to be tonight. But like you say, defensively they were sound.
It was a little bit in Olympiacos-esque, Shaun. And again, you know, like we say, 19 shots there, I think, and unfortunately couldn't find the back of the net. But again, as I asked Richard and when we had the start of the show, nothing to be too concerned about because we're still creating those chances.
Yeah, exactly that. Diaz's chance, I don't know how he made that happen, but of course it stayed out. But little things like that will change in time to come. Like you said, you saw in the game against Burnley. Keep creating the chances and the goals will come.
Not quite the 2 now, Kev. What happened there?
No, look, I did the hard bit and predict it. All they got to do is put the ball in the net and it'll happen. But it was just one of them nights. We didn't have enough sustained possession in wide areas that we normally do, and certainly what we did against Burnley, we just didn't really get round the back of them often enough. And there was half chances, but it just wasn't to be, was it? And then obviously, no doubt, we're going to touch on it, the disallowed goal.
Well, perfect segue into that, Kev. I mean, what do you make? What was your assessment of that situation?
The first viewing for me, I didn't know where it was. I didn't know where the offside was. Obviously, after seeing it again, it's been taken back earlier on in the build-up play. I think it was Rodri Hill just offside, but it's just getting farcical. I just don't know where we go with our. Are we going to end up disallowing goals for offsides in the previous week's game? There's no bearing. There's no bearing on the goal, and I know. Look, they can say it's led to the goal, but it had no bearing. There's so much to do, and I feel for Jesus a little bit. He's worked tirelessly at the weekend, not got a goal in the 5 that we scored, and he finally gets a goal. It was a good header, great save by the way, but followed up like all good strikers do, and I'm gutted for him really.
And I guess, you know, like we say, it was the heel, I think, that they went back to. But I guess the question isn't whether he was offside there, is what point are we taking it back to, Richard, before the decision gets called?
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, even it's a backward pass as well, so it's not an offensive action that he's doing or anything like that. It's so slight and such a misdemeanor or whatever. But they spoke a couple of years ago about doing if there's any doubt, give the forwards the advantage. And they've brought in VAR and they've gone too far into the detail of everything. And it's a case of, was he offside? Yeah. Did he affect really anything that Porto were going to do? No. So just let it be, let it go. And it was a great bit of action. It was a great save by the keeper. And it was a goal which the game desperately needed. And just to be ruled out because it's painful, isn't it, to watch?
It is, I think, and I think I've just been told in my ear, but there was the 3 passes after that, and it was a whole 15 seconds that passed them before the ball went into the box. So you'd think that's entered a totally new phase of play, wouldn't you, Shaun? It is frustrating now. I think it's becoming a little bit tough for fans to watch and really try and find any positives about it when it's just a little bit frustrating.
I just don't like VAR. That's all I'm going to say about it. I got no love for it. Even if it's for or against, I just feel like it spoils the whole game.
Let's focus on another kind of, it was a bizarre moment where it kind of came in the back of where we're pushing, and it was the Diaz kind of clearance, tried to get a flick on it, but didn't he? What was your assessment of what happened, Shaun? It was...
What he's done is actually harder to do, I think. I think I would have most probably put that in by mistake rather than go in that direction.
I think it's one of them. It was a good ball in. Obviously, Raheem's made a good run at near post, had a good touch on it. I think it's because he's mid-air, and obviously your natural position when you're trying to reach something, your foot is going to be up in the air, and it's just hit the top of his foot and gone behind him. A little bit bizarre, I must admit, but we all thought it was in, didn't we?
It was,
up.
and then Torres as well was so unlucky there with the overhead kick attempts as well.
It was a great effort by him. But you look at the Diaz one and the Garcia, and it's almost like the right place but the wrong man on both occasions. And it's about trying to get strikers into those positions to finish things off. And I know what it's like as a centre half. You're just trying to get contact on the ball, and your curly foot sends it away from goal, and that's it.
We can now hear from our captain Fernandinho. This is him speaking at full time in Porto.
Well, it's important to get 1 point here away from home, and especially against the tough team they are. So they fought all the whole game to get the point and to go through as well. I think it's important for us because we show, we control the game, we create some chances to score the goals. Unfortunately, we didn't score, but I think it was a good step, especially for next game on next week, and for sure to secure the first position in the group.
For the goal, he was very alert, Jesus, wasn't he, to follow up quickly?
Yeah. Well, always he has been, and strikers always should be alert in the box, and he showed his quality, and unfortunately was offside, but I'm glad for him because he changed the game as well with his patience, with his pace, and of course with his desire. And as I say, it was a good point for us, and we are glad to finish top of the group.
Porto seemed happy to get a draw. They didn't really go for it. Is that what you felt, what you expected?
Well, I think we tried to win the game since the beginning, We tried to play our game since the first minute, and of course for them was important point. But as I say, most important for us is worry about my team, our team, and I'm so glad to get that point to finish top of the group.
And how are you feeling?
Good. And you?
I'm good, yeah. But, you're back in the team. You're feeling fit again?
Yeah, fine.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Well done.
That's Fernandinho channeling a bit of his inner Pep Guardiola, I think, there with his answers. But great to see him get a full 90 minutes, Kev, I guess.
Yeah, it was good to see him back, sitting in that role, anticipating things, ticking things over. He obviously received that naughty-looking tackle, the raking, like as the man said, down the Achilles, and it looked a little bit naughty, but it's great to hear that he's feeling fine.
And a few of those tactical fouls, Shaun, as well, that I know that you're loving there as well.
Yeah, that's what you get with him, and he's put some of his nice balls over the top as well in the game, so it's great to have him back.
Our attention then turns back to the Premier League, and Fulham is who we take on Saturday. Of course, we'll be coming back off that win against Leicester, which was a great win. So it's not going to be an easy game, but I think as well we've had players rested, so we'll be able to see some other names in the starting lineup. Richard?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few changes, and City will know now what to expect. Fulham will come and do what every other side has done here and sit back and defend, and it's just about trying to find that creative opening to try and get that first goal. And you've seen on Saturday against Burnley, you get one goal, they fly in afterwards, and it's just hopefully they don't hold out for too long.
Well, we are going to be here on We're Not Really Here for Fulham. Joining me on Saturday, we're going to be live from 2 o'clock. Shaun, you're with us for Fulham, and we're going to also have Sean Gota and Michael Brown, who was commentating with Alistair Mann this evening. You are with us, Shaun, I thought.
I think so. Yeah, I'm here.
So you can join us at 2 o'clock for that live. Kev, final word from you. Looking at our Champions League kind of games there that we've played, going into the last 16, I know we've got another game against Olympiacos in the groups. How are you feeling about City's chances as a whole in the Champions League?
Look, we've been here before, haven't we? And we think, this is the year, and it seems to be typical City, and it doesn't happen, one reason or another. I've got a feeling, like I predicted the score Saturday, I've got a feeling this could be City's year.
well, from the man who predicted 5-0 last week. We'll forget today. But he is the king predictor here, and we're not really here studio, so lovely stuff. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you, Shaun. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Richard. And thank you to all you wonderful people for watching. So join me right here on We're Not Really Here from 2 o'clock on Saturday for the game against Fulham. And remember, you can catch full highlights from tonight's game over on City Plus. They go up from midnight. But remember, there's a whole host of brilliant original content on there. And very soon we'll be able to get that documentary on the main man right over there, Shaun Wright-Phillips. Thank you for joining us. Do check out all things City Plus, and I'll see you on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week.
He always said that in primary school that he wanted to be the best footballer of the world.
I was a shy, really shy person, so it was really difficult for me to make a lot of social contacts.
He's one of the best players I ever trained in my life.
You've got such a group of players that can achieve anything they want. Don't ever let it slip, because before you know it, you'll be doing a speech like me crying. And it's the end of it. Trust me, it goes that fast. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations to everybody. I know it's not easy to come here because always you have the mind what is going to happen, what's going to happen. If we lose, if we lose, if we lose. When we lose, we lose.
David Silva es uno de los jugadores más talentosos que ha dado el fútbol español, sin ninguna duda.
Johnny boy, show me your hand.
Well, we haven't seen Premier League football for 10 weeks, but Project Restart will finally be up and running.
They use like a kind of small stick, and they use it in your mouth and in your nose.
Sterling scores Manchester City's first goal since the restart of Premier League football.
Well, some are saying it seems longer than 20 years. Some saying it seems like yesterday, but fantastic memories from it, even now 20 years on. And to have all the boys here today is fantastic.